of this year, Chinese investment in Bangladesh surged by 370%. Since last August, nearly 20 Chinese companies have signed investment agreements with Bangladesh partners, with a total intended investment commitment exceeding $400 million. China has become the largest sources of FDI in Bangladesh side since the interim government took office. In May, China's Commerce Minister, Mr. Wang Wentao, led a delegation of over 150 Chinese enterprises to Bangladesh, which is the largest delegation ever that has visited Bangladesh. And I just learned just a few days ago, the chairman of BIDA, Mr. Asik Chaudhry, also had a very successful business forum in Shanghai. More than 130 plus 20 Bangladesh companies attended, and you maybe read reports that got renewed commitment from Chinese enterprises and companies to invest in Bangladesh. So that is the confidence Chinese companies have in Bangladesh and in Bangladesh people. Also in May, fresh mangoes from Bangladesh entered the Chinese market. No matter what domestic changes taking place in Bangladesh, China will remain committed to strengthening bilateral trade and investment cooperation with Bangladesh, and we will continue to support Bangladesh in its efforts towards sustainable development and improving people's livelihood. In March, the first group of Bangladesh patients, doctors, and travel agencies successfully visited China. The Chinese embassies in Dhaka organized a Bangladesh media delegation to Yunnan province of China for interview and coverage. The Chinese embassy has introduced special facilitation measures for medical treatment visas to China in May with green channel services and a streamlined process. In April, the first ever large-scale drone performance in Bangladesh history was held. 2,500 Chinese drones lit up the night over Dhaka, creating a breathtaking spectacle and leaving the audience in excitement. Recently, a set of robotic rehabilitation equipment worth $1.5 million was officially put into operation under the facilitation of Chinese experts. Last week, at the request of the interim government of Bangladesh, the Chinese government dispatched an emergency medical team of 5 burn specialist doctors and nurses to Dhaka to provide medical treatment to the injured in the heartbreaking aircraft crash. At present, there are 68 flights operating weekly, which transport more than 13,000 passengers. On the education front, China has been expanding its scholarship opportunities for Bangladesh students on a yearly basis. Around 15,000 Bangladesh students are receiving higher education in China. China commends Bangladesh for its contribution to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goal and UN peacekeeping efforts. We congratulate Bangladesh on the adoption of the resolution Human Rights and Climate Change at the United Nations Human Rights Council and the adoption of the resolution follow-up to the Declaration and Program of Action on a Culture of Peace at the United Nations General Assembly for 27 consecutive years. The China-Bangladesh-Pakistan Trilateral Vice Foreign Minister or Foreign Secretary meeting was successfully held in Kunming on 19 June. China looks forward to make joint efforts with Bangladesh and Pakistan to solidly advance the trilateral cooperation and achieve tangible results. The Central Conference on Work related to neighboring countries was held in Beijing this April. President Xi Jinping stressed that China's diplomacy will focus on building a community with a shared future with neighboring countries, fostering an amicable, secure, and prosperous neighborhood. China has always placed Bangladesh in a leading position in its neighborhood diplomacy, supported Bangladesh in safeguarding its national sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity, and opposing external interference, while exploring a development path suited to its national conditions. China appreciates Bangladesh's commitment to the One China principle and its continued firm support on issues concerning China's core interests and major concerns. Bangladesh now is undergoing a pivotal phase of reform and development. China supports the interim government of Bangladesh in its governance and back the efforts of Bangladesh to hold the general election smoothly and successfully, and to pursue a development path that suits its national conditions. China is willing to always be a trustworthy, good friend, good neighbor, and a good partner of Bangladesh. Since the Trump administration took office in the U.S., the U.S. has rolled out a series of unilateral tariffs, including so-called reciprocal tariffs, a textbook case of trade bullying. These measures blatantly violate WTO rules, disrupt global industrial and supply chains, and hinder world economic recovery. They are irresponsible, unpopular, and unsustainable. Worst still, the U.S. is now weaponizing tariff to strong-arm others into so-called reciprocal tariff negotiations. This is nothing but hegemonical politics and unilateral bullying disguised as reciprocity. We note that Bangladesh and the U.S. are intensifying tariff talks, those talks which have drawn widespread attention, concern Bangladesh's sovereignty and economic future. The U.S. imposed a 35% tariff on Bangladesh, one of the least developing countries, which is neither reasonable nor ethical. We respect Bangladesh's rights to resolve trade disputes with the U.S. through equal dialogue and support it in defending its legitimate interest. We support Bangladesh in upholding WTO rules and the multilateral trading system, and in maintaining normal trade and exchanges with China. China stands ready to strengthen solidarity and coordination with Bangladesh to jointly resist unilateral bullying and defend global fairness and justice. In recent years, the Chinese embassy has organized multiple visits to China for Bangladesh journalists. Many of the participants are members of the DCUP. Over the past 2 years, the Chinese embassy has organized 6 media delegations with 94 journalists to visit China. These visits are warmly welcomed by our journalist friends. To help friends from the media better understand China, we will continue these efforts in building more bridges and connections. So once again, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the journalist friends for your care and support for China-Bangladesh relations, as well as your understanding and cooperation with Chinese embassy. So thank you all of you for present with us.
Thank you, Excellency. Now we have around 30 minutes for question and answer session. Please raise your hand, and can you go one by one, or you can take 3 together?
What's your suggestion?
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. We'll take 3 questions together. Ishad Jahan.